Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Welcome to With the Messenger. My name is Whitney, and this will be your November 2024 forecast. We're going to start off with the astrology, and then we're going to get into the cards for you all. There will be timestamps down below, so you could fast forward if you so choose to do for just the tarot portion, but I would strongly recommend you listen to the astrology portion of it, okay? If there's not much that you know about astrology, I do have a tutorial, a free tutorial down in the description box, a link to a video on how to cast your natal chart, and a bit of tips just to help you to understand everything. Okay, your two main themes that I see changing for you this month is love and friendships, okay? The way that you connect with the people around you on a whole. We're going to start off with a new moon that is happening in your 11th house. And this is on November the 1st. There's a lot that is happening just within the first 4 days of November. Okay? So, new moon in your 11th house. If you have any placements between 5 degrees, so I would say 13 degrees of the sign of Capricorn, then you would, your energy, that planet, the energy of that planet would sextile. Sextiles are the nature of Venus, right? So it's like an opportunity that is there, but you're the one who has to receive it, okay? Or it's just gonna stay there. Okay, so from your first house to your 11th house, people represented in your 11th house, they may be presenting you with some type of opportunity. People who are represented in the 11th house could be a benefactor. It could be an older sibling. I always want to either say elder or older and then kind of like mix them together. An older sibling. People in a wider network, like let's say you're a lawyer and then you have other lawyers, you know, part of the bar association or something like that, just or you're an engineer or an architect, other people who are within the same field with you, it could be from them. To me, third house more represents our friends that we talk to on a day-to-day basis, right? But friendships could be represented by 11th house too. 11th house is also people who deal with humanitarianism type organizations. So friendships are going to be highlighted for you nonetheless, and siblings, older and younger, because there will be a trine to Saturn in your third house on the same day of the new moon, right? The new moon is trining Saturn. So either people from your third house or 11th house, they're trying to present you with opportunities, okay? Could be people in your local neighborhood too, because third house represents the community, all right? Perhaps there's a way for you to be more present in these spaces, okay? Like I said, it's an opportunity that is being presented to you, and you're the one who's gonna have to show up for it. On the same day, we have Mercury at 29 degrees in your 11th house. That's going to oppose Uranus in your 5th house. The 5th house represents our children. It represents our business, our entrepreneurial business. It represents our romantic partner, like someone that you would date. Okay. It represents even our inner child. So there could be something that is happening, because 11th house is online. There could be some information, some news that is dispelled online from an elder sibling to you, communicated to you from an elder sibling. Somebody in your wider network, something that they have to say, something that they present, that is going to create a bit of a shock factor, either to your inner child. It's going to affect your child. It's going to your romantic partner doesn't react properly towards it, okay? Or your child doesn't react properly. If you have children who are old enough at least to have the understanding of whatever this information is. For example, you know, we have a lot of WARS that is happening across the world right now. And if you have children who are old enough to understand what is happening on the global stage, at least, what they might have to say about it, their views on it, it could be shocking, okay? Or perhaps there's something that your romantic partner says or does that is a bit shocking, especially, you know, to the people in your 11th house, and what they have to say about it, you know, like it's really contrasting, okay? No way about it, there's a shock factor here, okay? And on the same day, there's a water trine that is happening in your 7th house. There's Mars. In your 3rd house, there's Neptune. And then in your 11th house, we have Mercury there. So Mars, Mercury, Neptune. Mars there in your in your 7th house, because we're going to get to the energy of that opposing you in a bit. Mars there in your 7th house, because this is a trine, there's something beneficial that is happening for you between that 3rd house, 11th house, and 7th house, okay? This could be, like I said, the opportunity that is presented to you from people from your 3rd and 11th house that allows you to sign a partnership, get a right business partner, or legal contract, or help you even to get out of these things, you know, because Mars is there in your 7th house. Mars is about cutting and severing things. If there's someone in your 7th house who is trying to cut and or sever something, perhaps the energy of the 3rd and the 11th house people represented by these could help to transition this in a more beneficial way for everyone involved, okay? And let's move on to Mercury is going to move into your 12th house on the 2nd of November. So your dreams, they're going to become very active. Okay, so if I were you, I'd pay attention to them, write them down. Even if they don't immediately make sense to you, write them down throughout the month. They might start to make sense, or even a month after. I can't tell you how many prophetic dreams I've had. So it's important that you write them down. They come like months after. For example, let me give you an example. I dreamt about last year, February. I dreamt about being at a party, a P. Diddy party. And in a dream, I said that I got up somewhere downtown. I was passed out. Like I know the last place I was at the party, and when I wake up I wasn't there, and I wondered if I was drunk raped. And that's literally how I wrote the tweet from February. And then September came along. And so sorry, you know, this was very unfortunate that she went through this, but her lawsuit confirmed that dream to me, that he drugs rapes people, you know. So this is what I'm saying, like, write down your dreams. They're important, and they'll make sense to you much later on, okay? Especially because you have Pluto at the anorexic degree of 29 degrees in your 1st house. Capricorn rising specifically, I'm talking to you about if you're a Capricorn moon or a Capricorn sun. When it comes to those areas of your life, this could still apply, you know, the moon being your home, your emotions, the sun being about yourself, your purpose in the world, your career, right, your image. So right now at that 29 degree has to do with intuitive abilities, okay? So I feel like all Capricorns right now, they're at a space where they could really tap into things, see the unknown. So that energy, while Mercury is there in your 12th house and Pluto is still there at 29 degrees in your 1st house, definitely pay attention to the signs. On the 3rd, let's move on to the 3rd. This is where the big bang happens. We have Pluto in your 1st house at 29 degrees, opposing Mars in your 7th house at 29 degrees. Everybody's calling this the karmic ending, okay? Especially for signs like a Scorpio, that's one, because it's happening with their rulers, modern and traditional ruler, okay? But for you, this is literally happening on your relationship axis. something is changing about you. You may, as Pluto was reaching that 29th degree in Capricorn during this retrograde process, you may have been doing a lot of intense shadow work. A lot of things may have been coming to the surface about yourself that maybe before you weren't really aware of or focused on. Okay, and as a result of that, I don't know if some of you were handling it the best. And I have to say that because with the Martian energy there in your 7th house, that person could be cutting you off. The people who are represented in your 7th house, they could be cutting you off because of things that are coming up to the surface for you. And again, it all depends on how you handle it. Now, if you're at a space where you're evolving as well, then those people could also just be rebelling against you evolving and still want to be able to, you know, I think about your card in tarot, the devil, where two people are chained together, and that they're chained together by their negative habits and patterns and attachment styles. So if you're evolving and healing, then the other person feeling, you know, you repelling that energy, they may be acting out quite a bit. Okay, so especially with Uranus there in your 5th house, a shock factor could be potential. There could be a potential for it. The energy is conducive for it, and as to how that is received. Okay, but again, the person in the 7th house is the one holding the Martian sword. I feel in this dynamic that Pluto is the stronger planet in this, even though it's smaller. I feel it's stronger because it has more control of its emotions, is if it taps into it properly. Whereas the Martian energy is a bit more just impulsive and just want to move. So whereas you may be sitting and looking at things from a wider picture and integrating your shadows with it, the other person may just be reactive and wanting to dominate. Remember, Pluto and Mars together, they're power struggles, okay? So you will be experiencing power struggles in your one-to-one partnerships. This could be with a romantic partner. This could be with an enemy, because the 7th house is a house of open enemies. Mercury is there moving into your 12th house, which is the house of hidden enemies. So a hidden enemy could become an open enemy. That takes me to the next transit happening the November 3rd. But these energies can be felt from before, right? Venus there in your 12th house opposes Jupiter in your 6th house. Okay, another karmic axis there, the 12th and the 6th house. So that's why I feel like it's very karmic energy that is playing out for you when it comes to people that you interact with. Because I don't want this to be limited to just romantic relationships, right? Yes, there is a factor there. The 7th house does have to do with committed relationships, but it's not limited just to that. Okay. How could this play out for you? Well, Venus and Jupiter, they're two benefic planets, right? So the energy of it, or at least the bottom line of it, should be positive. You could want to, with Jupiter in your 6th house, you could want to work more. Yeah, understatement, you're a Capricorn. You could want to do more when it comes to work. But Venus there in your 12th house could be your romantic partner that wants to stay in bed more, because the 12th house does represent our bed pleasures, right? There could be something about the comfort of isolation that is creating some type of friction, right? Doesn't have opposition, doesn't have to be that. It's just creating some type of friction with the need to actually get out there and be of service to others. Remember, your 3rd house and your 11th house as well is highly activated in your spirit, especially with the new moon there, Mercury doing what it's doing. So Saturn, Neptune there in your 3rd house. So there could be more of a discipline that is called for you to show up for others, whereas you might just want to retreat, you know. Venus in your 12th house could be a foreign trip that could come up, but then Jupiter in your 6th house, they're saying, hey, there's work we gotta do. You know. So I would, if I were you, just weigh the pros and cons as to what will matter to you down the line and what would you have a chance to do again. If I were you, that's how I would handle that energy. So Pluto now, Saturn is going to go direct, yay. But before that, we're going to have Mars move into your 8th house. Mars in the 8th house, and this is why I feel like you're going to be faced with combating some of your shadow side energy, or the person who you once have some type of partnership with, whether that be business or love, or it be an enemy. They may try to create some type of battle with you for resources, because the 8th house is shared resources, and so you might experience some type of a little bit of loss there. Some of you, not all of you, okay? Because if you're single and you don't have a business partner, what loss is there for you to have, really? This could definitely be, though, with Mars there in the 8th house, which is comfortable in, where you focus a lot on the shadow side of yourself, okay? Forced to become a bit more vulnerable with yourself. Personally, I would say Mars in your 8th house while Venus is there in your 12th house, it would be a good time for you to pursue some type of healing, whether that be a spiritualist, a therapist. It would help, okay? I'm going real long with this. And then we have the full moon in your 5th house on the 15th of November. That's the same day that Saturn goes direct. I do feel for you when it comes to love and friendships, people around you, that there's a lot of realizations that you're having about them as they are about you. And because there's a full moon there that is going to be conjunct Algol, Uranus is going to be activating Algol with this full moon there in your 5th house. There's a shock factor that can come from either your children, especially if they're old enough to give you a bit of trouble, or your romantic partner or your business partner, okay? Because that is your entrepreneurial business there. But I'm also feel like it's going to come from a child or a romantic partner, okay? Does it have to be bad? Not necessarily. Alcohol is also a wealth star, okay? This could be where some of you feel, because Uranus is also about that electrifying energy, right? Maybe you come across someone that just send those electrical jolts through your system, right? So I would say it doesn't have to be all bad, and because Algol is a wealth star, maybe one of your children, they come into some good luck, okay? Or your romantic partner come into some type of financial blessing there. And the last thing I want to talk about is Pluto moving out of your 1st house for good. So when that Pluto Mars opposition happened, that's not gonna happen again. I feel you're gonna really learn who you are through this elastic of Pluto in Capricorn. And when I say learn who you really are, you're gonna learn to identify your shadows. You're gonna learn to know when you're not acting in a space of alignment with what is best for you, okay? And so the power struggle that you may experience with someone as a result of it, that's not gonna happen again, okay? At least when it comes to Pluto Mars dynamics. Because Pluto won't be transiting your 1st house again in this lifetime ever again. So Pluto moves into your 2nd house, which is all about wealth. And that's what I'm saying. Some of you could be coming into wealth. That full moon could be your business taking off somehow, like you getting recognized by someone want to invest in your business, buy your business over, buy your model, buy your ideas over, right? And like I said, it's very beneficial for you in the long haul, because Pluto wants to give generational wealth, and it's going to stay there in your 2nd house for the next 20 years. So especially Capricorn rising and Capricorn suns, especially if you have planets in Aquarius in your 2nd house, this is being activated. This is go time. And that's what I'm saying with that Venus Jupiter energy. You're gonna have to ask yourself, what could you do again, and what do you have time to do again, okay? Because sometimes trips comes up it's a once in a lifetime opportunity and you want to experience that, right? And then maybe you're just gonna have to be practical and put some other plans in place to make up for it, if that's what it is that you want to do. Some of you, this could be this Jupiter Venus opposition, because Jupiter does have to do, Jupiter in 6th house, this could be about your health. 12th house does have to do with like hospitals. But because it's too benefic, I feel like it's going to play out in your favor. However it plays out for you. Okay, I think that's all I have to mention for you here. We're gonna do the tarot portion of it, so I'll see you on that side. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is the tarot section of your reading. So I've pre-shuffled and laid out a few cards here just to try to cut back the time because these astrology forecasts are going longer and longer. All right, so for new moon in Scorpio, we have dream, a beautiful dream. And this normally comes up when it's time to co-create with spirit, okay? When you need to get into your manifestation, visualization, vision boarding, whatever you want to call it. It's time to put in place what it is that you want your day-to-day life to look like. Venus-Jupiter opposition, we have scarcity here. Now, this is a shadow work card. And this does have to do with how through our lineages we were programmed to kind of think small and not reach for more, and having to fight through that, okay? Now, when people think scarcity, some may just think that it has to do with like money or material things, but it does not. It has to do with all aspects of your life, okay? Mars-Pluto opposition. We have the Temple of Lapis Lazuli, goddess of the ancient skies. This has to do with your intuition as well as your spiritual connection and your throat chakra, your communication abilities. So let's get into this. Tell us more about this dream, a beautiful dream. This is a good crystal to work with. I personally have it. I keep it on me. It instills confidence and kind of helps you to be more in tune with your intuition when dealing with others. Abundance wanted to show. Interesting. Dream a beautiful dream, please, for Capricorn, Sun, and Rising. Venus, Jupiter opposition with scarcity. Oh, you got an extra one there. Free will and integrity and honesty. Well, you could always do what you want to do, but there's a guidance here for you to be sure that you're doing the right things. We have friendship. I told you friendship is a major theme for you this upcoming month. Are you trying to create a business with friends, to mentor friends, to have them mentor you? Is it going to be beneficial for you overall to do so? We have attachment. We have miracles. Taurus got this, so you might want to check out their reading. It showed up for them in regards to their finances. Oh, and soulmate. See, that's what I was saying, you know. Abundance doesn't only have to do with like material things that you could touch. It's the Ten of Pentacles in the Tarot for me that has to do with having everything, being spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, all balanced, all in surplus, right? Even your health, right? What's at the bottom of this one? We have transformation. Well, Pluto going through your first house will do that. So I feel you're letting go of your attachment to that scarcity mindset. Of course, Aries is there in your fourth house with Chiron passing through in a North Node that's been trying to heal for you some wounds. This could be through the maternal lineage that this came through, this scarcity mindset. There is something that's going to happen. Remember I said with the Uranus energy, if you listen to the first half at least, the Uranus energy of through your fifth house, where someone might just send that electrifying energy through you. That could be the miracles and the soulmate there. And perhaps maybe with this dream, a beautiful dream, you didn't think that you could have it all. You know, the 11th house is also about our gains, our long-term gains, our aspirations, and there's a new start that is allowing to be planted here for you. That's what new moons are, time to plant seeds, right? Some of you, this may be a friend turned lover type situation. That's not for everybody, right? Temple of Lapis Lazuli, please. With a Mars Pluto opposition. Okay. I'm gonna pick that up because I saw something at the bottom of that. One more. You have planning, and that's what I was saying in the first half, the astrology half, with the oh, my light is going out, especially with the Venus Jupiter opposition there in your 12th and 6th house. If there's something that you want, and I even said with the Pluto Mars opposition in your 1st and 7th house, there could be stuff that you have for yourself that you want to accomplish, and the other person might not be too receptive of it. And by the other person, I mean people who are represented by your 7th house. Bam, a karmic lesson. Okay, so we have children here, and I was mentioning children a lot in the astrology part. So if you haven't seen it, you also have inner child and trauma. Wow. Because there's a lot that's happening in your 5th house. You're gonna have a full moon there. Uranus is going to be activated by Algol and the full moon. Uranus is going to be activated via an opposition by Mercury from your 11th house. Okay, so I do think children or your inner child, they play a huge role here. Okay, we have codependent here. So for some of you, since it's that this is your 1st house, 7th house energy, there could be a lesson that you have to learn in regards to karmic relationships where codependency is involved. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. I wanted to get this to read the Temple of Lapis Lazuli just to see if there's anything here. You are guided to come into deeper acceptance of your inner knowing now. This oracle comes to you to provide much needed spiritual recognition that you have wisdom and understanding within you that is very ancient and flows from the soul. And that you also have a sacred connection to wisdom that comes from star peoples of Sirius and other celestial beings that serve through unconditional love. This oracle comes to you with an offering of guidance. Remember who you are within. Do not try to fit with the external models of how to be in this world, for you are here to help birth a new way that is more aligned with spiritual truth. And that's what I'm saying with this Scorpio in Pluto energy at 29 degrees, where I feel you're going to become integrated with your shadows. You're going to know all of who you are. And the shadows isn't only like the bad, right? The shadows could represent our intuition or deep inner knowing that we just can't logically prove with the light shone on it. Which is the 3D aspect of it, I believe. And perhaps that's the way that you're supposed to show people represented by your 3rd and 11th house, your friends, your siblings, your people in your close-knit network, right? And so there's something I'm gonna clarify this planning just before I go forward with love. What's the planning here? I think based on something that you've learned and being tapped into your inner standing, there's something that you're planning here. It could involve children. It could have to do with a codependent relationship. 1, I'm gonna get 3 of these. 2, planning here. It seems like something you've been struggling with internally, weighing like what to do, trying to figure out what to do. Yeah, 2 of Wands as well. 2 2s here. This one, foot tied to one post, hand tied to the others. Not necessarily sure what to do here. Okay, you might want to seek counsel from someone here. It just seems like you're going to be in a space of indecision. And then you may be pushed to learn a karmic lesson. Not the easy way. Tell us about this karmic lesson then. 3 cards. 3 of Wands. 10 of Pentacles. I mentioned that 10 of Pentacles in the Astrology portion too. And the Page of Swords with the 8 of Wands. There's a tense conversation that is happening here, or at least at the minimum, if it's not like a physical one, it's a spiritual one that happens through a dream world. And I said when Mercury moves into Sag, you're going to be having activation of dreams, okay? A lot of Gemini energy here with this Page of Swords and this Knight of Swords here. That's that 3rd house of the goddess, right? Look, again, 9 of Swords in the mind. All right. Okay. Capricorn, Sun, and Rising, please. Theme in love. I'm just going to cut the deck and get 4 cards. We're going to get for love, career, finance, friendships, external environment influence, as well as one good thing that's coming up. Love, we have the Strength card. The Leo could be significant for some of you all, or just the need to embody that energy. I did say in your love readings that when Mars moves into Leo on November 4th, in love, it's going to be significant for you all somehow. Okay. Page of Cups, friendships, external environment, and then I'm just going to turn the good news down. Taurus full moon is going to be like a divine intervention point for some of you all. Transformation is happening in your love life with the Strength card. I feel someone's ego is softening. Could be you or another. 2 cards of Strength. Someone is becoming very vulnerable with themselves. And gentle. I heard gentle too. Yeah, 9 of Wands. Ooh. And the Ace of Swords. Because truths are being faced. I think it's you because we have the Devil card here, which is Capricorn card. I feel truths are being faced. Unfortunately for me, this 9 of Wands does represent shame in this deck for me. But I like to see temperance here. We have, damn. Sheesh, this is 5 major arcana to the bottom of this deck. There's a new beginning that is happening for you here. Again, I feel there's some type of divine intervention point for temperance showing up again in this deck. Know better, do better moment. Yeah. King of Cups here. So a bit of emotional maturity happening on your part. What's the truths here with the Ace of Swords? 4 of Pentacles. How you held back. I feel the truth would be like repressed emotions. Yeah. High Priestess confirmation. Repressed emotions. Things that you kept hidden. Out of fear of something. Maybe how it would be received. Or being judged. Okay, so give me one outcome on this. No. Whether you admit this to someone or not, you're definitely going to admit it to yourself. Four of Swords, and go through a period of healing as a result. Isolation too, with this Four of Swords here. What about the Sun card in career and finance? I see blessings on your finances. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles, blessings on your finances. Finance definitely is going to improve here. There's some type of opportunity that's coming in towards you. Two of Pentacles. What's your confusion? What's your indecision about, though? Maybe for some of you all, it's because it's a distance, or something here about the ego, because we have the Strength card showing up again. But we do have Page of Pentacles, so perhaps it's gonna be somewhere great. It's a great opportunity, but maybe you might be at like an entry level, or it forces you to like maybe start over somewhere new. You're gonna feel like maybe a small fish in a big pond type situation, and that could be your indecision. Yeah, Three of Wands. I feel something is coming into you all, but you're uncertain here, and you want to make the right choice. I could understand that. I could get that. But money is coming in. There's a blessing on your finance there. Friendship and external environment influence. Page of Cups could sometimes represent an apology, a small offer, gesture. It sometimes could represent unrequited love, breadcrumbing type energies, not giving much. And it could also represent our inner child doing things that pleases our inner child. So let's see what we have for you all. Seven of Cups. Some of you may want to paint, all right? That could be something that appeases your inner child. Or color. Something with like watercolor therapy or something like that. And Emperor. I think you're going to learn the truth about someone here. Because the Seven of Cups to me is Neptune energy. Especially in this deck, he's painting one thing, but there's just cups here and he's imagining it. So it's like an illusion that has been created here. And to see the Emperor get the devil under their feet, to me, this is what I was saying with that Pluto in your first house energy. You're integrating your shadows so much so that it cannot be used against you anymore. So with it comes some type of ending, whether this be a friendship or romantic situation, whatever have you. I feel if there were people who benefited from you not really knowing your power, in all areas of your life, that will be no more. Tell me more about Emperor. We have the Ace of Wands here. Page of Cups again. The Sun card, the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles here. So if this was like a working dynamic, co-worker, friends, a business partner, I'm sorry, that made you somehow believe that you had to do it together. But they sabotaged your growth, kept you small with them. This is definitely changing, because I feel someone is going to recognize you and what you have to offer and present you with an opportunity. Okay, how does this play out? What's the outcome of this friendship, external environment situation? Five of Cups. If you want the abundance, if you want what it is that you know that you could have with the Queen of Pentacles here, you're going to have to embody this Queen of Swords energy, set some boundaries in place. Perhaps allow the pieces to fall within you. One more. And it's Five of Cups. Yeah, the Knight of Swords and charge forward. Three of Swords again. And I saw the Three of Swords. Some one of these decks just now. Okay, with the King of Swords, and we saw the Queen of Swords a little while ago. Yeah, someone might feel like you're betraying them, like you're leaving them behind, but I think at the end of the day, that's going to be the right thing for you to do. Whether this be in love, in friendship, you know, a community, or a work situation. Okay. The good news is the King of Wands. You step into your power. 3 cards. Regardless of gender, right? Good news for November 2024 for Capricorns. It's like you go to a higher level than you already are. Why? Because we have the 7 of Wands here. Before this is the 6 of Wands, which is a victory, but the 7 of Wands is then having to like defend that position, right? Because what? 5 of Wands. Between this is the 6 of Wands. So this is first a competition. Then the 6 of Wands is winning above the competition, and then 7 of Wands is having to defend your position. 6 of Cups, 5 of Cups again. So this good news definitely has to do in relation to this friendship and this external environment here. And there goes the 6 of Wands. Okay, so like I said with the 5 of Cups here, allow the pieces to fall where they may. I do feel the last of you learning who you truly are with that 29 degrees in your first house of Pluto in your first house at 29 degrees. You're going to start to see who people really are as you learn who you really are as well. Okay, so all right, I hope that this was beneficial. I think you all got the longest so far apart from Scorpios, and until next time, do be blessed.